Hello everyone and welcome to this solo game of Legends of Void. Finishing the setup, placing the Lumen City in the Nimali region and the neutral player on its left. The Seraphs are Moloch, Thanatos and Marduk, and the first Seraph to move is Moloch. Turning left into the Nimali region. The hero is Nie Sunstride, a very interesting hero. Even though she starts with just 3 golds and only 1 fight, she moves 3 and she doubles placement bonuses, so she's a very interesting hero. Let's see the gifts. There are starting bonuses, versus sword with mana production. Let's see the starting cards. There are spirit tags, creatures, mana production, damages. I don't really know what I'm going to do right now. The factions, they are the Greycoats, the Ashnei, and Tortuga. So, after thinking for a good while, I decided to go with the Ashnei. They have a cool creature engine. Every time I sacrifice a creature, they get me a Genasi, and I can spend 2 mana to get as many Genasi as creature tags. And also they give me 10 starting golds, so I can keep 4 cards. So, I keep the mana producing gifts, both for Ashnei ability and to pay for Marduk's curse, and I choose the creature engine cards. So Necromancers, Spirit Tags, and no rights to pay for Thanatos' curse. I place Nie and I get the starting resources and then pay 12 for the cards. I play the gifts. I increase the mana production, mithril production, and I get 3 spirits. And those swords will be very useful to fight a bit with me. So I get my production, and last but not least, I'll go for the gold producing blessing, since that can be useful later on. So for the first turn, the plan is straightforward. I move next to a portal, I play Spiritual Guidance, getting a hero production, and a spirit for my Lares. Then I get into the void, healing Moloch. That is the last Seraph that moved. I get out next to that portal on the right, on that convenient area where I can gather 1 Genasi and a gold. I end the turn playing no rights, and I have to throw away my only tile that is a stronghold at the moment, and now I don't own any tile in the outer lands, but I can pay for Thanatos' curse. I use the Ashnei ability and I get a Genasi, and then I end the summer with the life blessing that is great for my game, because need see both creatures and spirits. So I produce and have a mana, mithril, 1 spirit, 1 creature. Let's see what Seraph is on the move. On the move there's Marduk. I pay the curse with 2 mana. He's turning left, and so he's getting a bit out of reach. And the draft. So there's a Void Contract and a Shamanism. Void Contract is cool. We're still early in the game, and even though I'm healing another Seraph, up to now I'm just healing Seraph, I'm not damaging them. Well, that could be interesting. So I gather, And then I move next to that spot where I can place a vite. I get 2 Genasi as placement bonus, and I damage Moloch. And the plan is placing 5 tiles in the minimal region and go to seize Moloch's secret. Then since I'm on a vite, I can play Commune with Nature. I get a hero production and a card. There isn't much here, but for sentient entities that can be actually very good when I will have some mana production, of course. I play Void Contract. I get a hero production, a good production, and I also healed Marduk. But now I am up to 6 hero production. And I take the Mithril Blessing because I'm planning a stronghold in the Animal region. And by the way, this is a solo game, that's why I'm healing the Seraphs instead of lowering my rate. So Marduk is again on the move, getting farther and asking again for 2 manas. I have them. So I can pay. I'm not super happy about it. And now to the draft. There are a couple of interesting cards. Reign of Mithril is great damage in the late game. But there is Night Watchers that is huge with creatures, as it enables damage anywhere in the outer lands. So now I come back gathering golds and Genasi, and I can now place a second vite in the Nimel region, damaging Moloch. Note that the creature I get from the vite is not a placement bonus, so it's just 1. And now I can play Necromancers that gives me a useful creature tag. At this point I obviously choose the Life Blessing, as it's providing a useful spirit and a creature. I produce 6 hero resources, that's very cool. 2 mana, another Lares and another creature on no right. And on the move there is Thanatos. Asking for 2 creatures, but those 2 creatures give me a Genasi, so it's not so bad. In the draft I see a great deposit of Mithril, helpful for the Night Watchers and Void Engineers, that I can play since I will build strongholds. So I begin gathering Genasi and golds, and then I move into the Nimari region, next to the Void. Now I play Deposit of Mithril, I get 4 Mithrils, and I'm able to play the Night Watchers in the Nimari region. I get a stronghold where I am, a hero resource, a Corvus, and then I move in front of Moloch, and with 7 Mithrils I build a stronghold, getting another hero resource and another Corvus. That's quite cool, because I play a vite protected by the stronghold that will damage Moloch. and getting a third Corvus. And now that I have 5 tiles in the Nimeri region, I can seize Moloch's secret. Blazing Pit gives me a mithril production and the damage to Moloch. And I also sacrifice it to seal a portal next to me, as I immediately do, getting a 4th Corvus. I can now Scorch and Nihil in the region where there's Marduk, damaging him and getting a Mithril. Before passing the turn, I activate Void Contract, I throw away Deposit of Mithril and I get a Dark Matter. And I can now activate Necromancers, getting 2 zombies there. I use 2 mana and I activate Ashnei and get 3 Genasi, since I have 3 creature tags. And finally I invoke Illuminate that I just unlocked with the 5 areas in the Nimeli region. I end the summer with the Hero Blessing, as I believe that next year I will need to do many things. So production. That was really a summer where I did a lot. And I could start with the Night Watchers and immediately get advantage of it. That really is nice. On the move here is Thanatos, going straight and demanding 2 creatures. But those give me a Genasi, thanks to Dashnei, so it's not such a bad curse. In the draft I find Dark Ore that can be pretty cool for generating other Mithrils, and a Word of Protection that is just a scroll that I will sacrifice for paying Moloch Shield. I begin with the Ashnei ability and I convert 2 mana into 2 Genasi and I grow Ivite. Next to the desert I just Scorched, getting 2 mana as a placement bonus and a Corvus and damaging Marduk. I play the ward and I sacrifice it to swing Moloch with the Leres sword. I move into Marduk's region on a mana wealthy area, and notice this has been possible thanks to the Night Watchers. I gather 5 mana, 5 golds, and I close the portal next to me, getting a hero action, and I damage Marduk. I can now play Void Engineers. I close 2 portals in Marduk's region, thanks to the Night Watcher Stronghold that is in the overlap between the 2 regions. I get 2 Corvi and I assign 2 damages to Marduk. It's now time for Dark Ore, getting 4 useful Mithrils, since I have 4 Chaos tags. And with 7 meters I build a stronghold next to Moloch, get 2 Genasi as placement bonus, a Corvus and a hero movement. I move next to Marduk. And I seize his secret, since I now have sealed enough portals. So it's 1 damage to Marduk, 1 mana production, and I immediately sacrifice it to build a stronghold and being protected, getting hero resource and another Corvus. I Scorch and Kneel just next to Thanatos. I get 1 Genasi, and since I sacrificed some creatures, and I get 1 Mithril too. I move on a portal since I want to gather mana next summer and play Shamanism. And I'm protected. And at this point I can sacrifice the Dark Core Scroll and get a Dark Matter. So I can activate the Necromancers and get 2 zombies. As usual, I end the summer taking the Life Blessing. And, I paid 2 Genasi instead of 1 Genasi and 1 Dark Matter for the Necromancer, so I'm fixing that. And I go to produce. So the Night Watchers unlocked that scorching that desert unlocked a movement that was very, very difficult to do, and now I'm close to Marduk's. I seized the secret. That was another great turn. On the move there's Thanatos entering the same region with me and Marduk and running away from the desert. Asking for 2 creatures, but those gave me a Genasi draft. See, very interesting Art of War, providing a Dark Matter and the other Dark Folk. So I'm not short on money, so I will keep both of them. I'll start playing Shamanism, so I'm not 100% sure it's a strong play, but still it's a Spirit Tag and possibly a couple of damages, so I did it. And then I play the Underdark Folk, basically to increase my mana production and get further creature tag. I activate Ashnei ability, getting 4 Genasi in exchange of 2 mana. That's quite cool. And I grow a Vite next to me, getting 2 golds, 2 mana and a spirit, and damaging Thanatos. I can now seal a portal, damage Thanatos and get a hero resource. Here I sacrifice no rights for a Dark Matter, and I pay 1 Dark Matter and 1 Genasi to get 3 zombies. And I move next to Thanatos. With the sword and one creature for Thanatos shield, I deal 1 damage. And then I also seize Thanatos secret, the dead sword. I get soloed by the void, healing Thanatos. And finally I deal 1 damage to Thanatos with another Luminade. I have sealed 5 portals. So I end the summer taking the Mithril Blessing. There's a lot of use for those Mithrils. Either paying a scroll or another stronghold, I don't know yet. And I produce. So seizing a 3rd secret was really great. My production is not lacking gold, of course. Hero resources, I have also a lot of mana. The Seraph on the move is Thanatos, curling to an edge tile and hiding, probably scared, but I don't really think so. Seraphs, they're not scared by heroes. In the draft, I see a Seal of Light, and since I have a lot of money, I can take it, its damage. And so I begin by escaping the void and claiming that lingering vitae in the Nimali region, getting a spirit. And I use the Ashnei ability to get 3 Genasi. I grow a vite to get closer to Thanatos. That gives me 4 golds and a 4th spirit too. I seal the portal next to Thanatos and get a spirit back. I gather 3 Genasi. I move again next to Thanatos. And it's now time for Reign of Mithril, as I have the Death Sword as Eternal Tag. And I will need to pay a further hero action for Nie Sunstride, because she's allergic to Arcana tags. And I play Art of War now. Decrease gold production, increase hero production. And now I can use my largest sword and get Thanatos to 2 of ult. And getting 1 dark matter. And paying that dark matter to place an outpost on a mountain in the Nimali region. And finally I sacrifice the Death Sword to deal the final 2 damages to Thanatos, banishing it. A portal opens where it was last seen, and I sacrifice the Underdark Folk for its Void Wave. That requires a scroll with a creature tag. And now I go with the sentient entities. I lower my mana production by 1 and I get 3 Genasi. I grow a Vite on the outpost and damage Moloch, getting 2 Genasi and 1 Spirit. I sacrifice a scroll to get 1 Dark Matter. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to use Void Contract so much in this solo game. And then I get 3 zombies. I end the summer with the Life Blessing. So we could banish Thanatos. Now we are down to 2 Seraphs. I don't really see me using the Lumenite with the life tags. I have just 1 life tag and no cards with life tags. Oh yes, there's the blessing, so I'm just missing 3 life tags in the best case. Now we are at the advanced events. Marduk is on the move and I have to pay for its Void Wave. Sacrificing Void Engineers. Draft. I find a Treasure Mage and also a very powerful 7 Windows that combos great with my sentient entities. So I go back to gather Genasi and golds. I get 5 of them. I play 7 windows. I bump my mana production up to 10. And I use the sentient entities to get 9 Genasi. I grow 2 Vite next to me, getting 2 Genasi and 2 mana as a bonus. And also 2 Corvi and 2 damages to Marduk. I seal a portal with Shamanism and I damage Moloch. I can also send an army of zombies to Marduk, since now I don't need creatures for Thanatos Curse anymore. And I can Scorch and Kneel to damage Marduk again. Down to 4. I use the Ashnei and I get 2 Genasi. I bloom a Vite where I am and damage Marduk. I get a spirit, and I move in front of Moloch, hitting with the latest sword and throwing away spiritual guidance in the process, because I need a scroll for its shield. I get Dark Matter. I play Trash Ram Mage to get other 3 Dark Matter since I have 3 deserts. And I also dig, but I don't find much, so I just sell the card for 1 gold. That is Summer Snow. Then I activate Void Contract and get another Dark Matter. Finally I pay 7 golds and get the 7th Dark Matter, and I Scorch and Heal, taking Marduk to 2. I end the summer with a Hero Blessing. There are still 2 Seraphs, but they are not in great shape. I have 1 damage in hand. Sentient Entities will give me at least 8 Genasi. But other than that, I don't have much other damage on the board. The second advanced event is Marduk's Vanishing and Healing 2, going clockwise in the Nimali region. Up to 4. In the draft, I find Skyscrapers and Summer Bloom. So I begin moving on the mountain. I can play the Skyscrapers and damage Marduk, getting 2 mana and a Corvus and a hero resource. I move back in front of Moloch. And I play Seal of Light, damaging Marduk, getting a second spirit and a mana production. Marduk is down to 2. I place an outpost on a mountain with the Genasi. I swing Moloch with the largest sword and get a dark matter. With the Art of War. I sacrifice a scroll with Void Contract to get a second dark matter. And I fight again Moloch with my fists and get a third dark matter, sacrificing Void Contract. I play Summer Bloom, getting 10 Genasi. I activate Sentient Entities, getting other 9 Genasi. I bloom 3 Vite, banishing Marduk and dealing 1 damage to Moloch 2. Get 2 Genasi as placement bonus, 2 spirits, a zombie. So Moloch is down to 2. Marduk is banished. And finally, I seal 2 portals with mana and shamanism, and I can banish Moloch too. And I pay for Moloch's Void Wave. So I banished all 3 seraphs. I can count the points here. I get 1 point from 2 life tags, 5 points from 10 portals, 2 points from dominance, 4 points from the strongholds, and 13 points from that last advanced event. So that is it. Thank you very much.